I don't usually talk about this. In fact, I've tried for years to convince myself it didn't happen. But every time I walk past the dim hallway or hear footsteps where there shouldn't be any, it all comes back to me. This happened in Berlin, back when I was renting a small studio apartment in an old building in Neukölln. The place was cheap, which should have been my first warning. The hallways were narrow, the lights flickered, and the elevator made a sound like it was sighing every time it moved. But I was young, broke, and desperate, so I took it. My unit was 4B. Across from me was 4A. Well, 4A was always locked, always dark, and always silent. My landlord told me it was unoccupied. But the way he said it, quick, dismissive, almost rehearsed, it made me wonder. My first night there, I heard something from the hallway, footsteps, slow and dragging, like someone was walking with one shoe on and one shoe off. I thought maybe it was a neighbor, but when I looked through the peephole, the hallway was empty. Still, the footsteps continued, right in front of my door, back and forth, back and forth. I didn't sleep. A week later, I was leaving for work when I noticed something strange. The door to 4A was slightly open, just a crack, enough for me to see a sliver of darkness inside. I don't know why, but I whispered, "Hello?" The door creaked wider, just an inch, and I saw a woman standing inside. She was pale, with long dark hair, wearing a grey dress that looked decades old. She didn't blink, didn't move, just stared at me with this expressionless face. Sorry," I muttered, stepping back. The door slowly closed. I told myself she was just a quiet neighbor. Just a quiet neighbor. Maybe the landlord forgot to mention her, maybe she didn't like talking. But that night, the footsteps returned. And this time, they stopped right outside my door. Then came a whisper. "Let me in." I didn't open the door. Of course I didn't. I just stood there, frozen, listening to her whisper the same words over and over. "Let me in. Let me in. Let me in." Eventually, it stopped. The next morning, I marched to the landlord's office and demanded answers. He went pale. "You saw her?" he asked. I nodded. He rubbed his face and said, "No one lives in 4A. No one has lived there since 1998. I told him that was impossible. I saw her with my own eyes. He shook his head. The last tenant was a woman. She died inside the apartment. People complained about noise afterwards, footsteps, whispers. I keep the unit locked now. Cause I felt sick. When I got home, I walked past 4A as fast as I could. But the door was wide open. Inside, the apartment was empty. Dusty, and abandoned. No furniture, no lights, no woman. Just a single footprint on the floor. Small, bare, and pointed toward my door. That night I packed my things. I didn't care about the deposit. I didn't care about the lease. I just wanted out. But as I was zipping my suitcase, I heard it again. Footsteps low and dragging. They stopped outside my door. I didn't move. Then through the peephole I saw her. The woman from 4A. Standing perfectly still facing my door. Her head tilted slightly like she was listening. Her lips didn't move, but I heard her voice clearly. You shouldn't have seen me. I stumbled back, heart pounding. The lights in the hallway flickered, and for a split second, she was gone. Oh God, I didn't wait. I grabbed my bag, ran down the stairs, and never went back. A month later, I got a message from a friend who still lived in the building. Someone new moved into 4B, he said. Poor guy, says he hears footsteps every night. I didn't reply. Because sometimes late at night, even in my new apartment miles away, I still hear it too. Footsteps. Slow, dragging right outside my door. And a whisper that chills me to the bone.